Welcome back from the break. You're still watching the Morning Rush, Friday edition of the show. I'm Desmond Okrekudas. You can call me Desifading the Star when I'm here with Nanaya Tanwa. I mentioned earlier before the break that we're going to have a discussion about the effects of the spillage on students or education really in those communities that have been affected. And Nugs, the National Union of Ghana Students, they've been on the ground to assess the whole situation, and we're here to talk about that amongst several other issues. And so join us this morning is the president of the union, that is Daniel Pontreme, who is joining us here for this particular discussion. Good morning. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And good to see that this time you are sitting, you are not dancing, because your dance moves are quite. But anyway, this was a situation that happened that everybody, tried to commiserate with the people there. For you as a leader of the student union like Nugs, how important was that for you to go there and go check it out, and what has been your assessment so far?
All right. First of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity given us, and extend a greetings to all the about 12.5 million Ghanaian students spread across the length and breadth of the country. As a 57-year-old union that concerns itself with positive activism and advocacy, it was quite disheartening when we got notified of the man-made spillage from the Akosombo and Mpom dams. Upon realizing it, we'd had to rush to the center to really find out what is really happening with our students in communities in Central Town, North Town, and Bunu East district, Bunu East region, specifically Pro East district, to really ascertain the challenges and how best we could also find means to mitigate the challenge. It was quite disheartening, and at a point we got gobsmacked of getting there and seeing the conditions our students find themselves in. As we speak, we have over 17,743 students who have been hugely affected by this spillage. And out of these 19,743, we are having over 10,000 of them who have displaced the educational material. So as we speak, the few ones who are studying with no books, nothing at all, no uniforms, and it's quite worrying. And we saw a lot of organizations reaching out to the community folks, few students as well, helping them. But upon studying the situation, we thought otherwise, no, as a student community or as a youth movement that concerns itself with student welfare, then it was very imperative and also incumbent on us to quickly rush to the venue to really find solutions to the challenge. You see, some of the accessibility we made clearly was for the things we identified. We had over 0.62% of ladies who are complaining of being sexually abused. We have in this situation? Yes, in this situation, because the place they find themselves, they are sleeping in the same tent with some of the guys. So when you wake up, you change in front of the guy, and which has led to the 0.2% of that number. And one worrying thing is, out of these huge numbers, we are having over 3,200 of these ladies who have no sanitary materials, and life is becoming very unbearable for the female students in these localities that have been hugely affected by this catastrophe. So we thought otherwise that as the National Union of Ghana Students, it shouldn't just be about donating educational materials, which on any day we will do so. We will be donating educational materials. But one salient thing we noticed was we got to know the good works the volunteer teachers are doing from the town. But one thing we noticed, most of these volunteer teachers are SHS leavers and are not that experienced enough. Though they are doing a yeoman's job, we must commend them on any day, but they are not really trained in the new curriculum or the educational system to really administer teaching staffs very well. So we thought otherwise, though the academic teachers or the GES teachers who are supposed to be teaching this case have been hugely affected by the flood. So they have no option than to pick the volunteer teachers to really help. So as the National Union of Ghana Students, otherwise, our community is very huge. We have a lot of trained teachers and all that in our community. So we reached out to our community folks, student leaders, teachers across board. And now as we speak, we have over 231 volunteer teachers who have applied to go to these communities to teach these kids for free for the next 1 month. And we've been having a lot of trainings for them within this past few days so that we can equip them or set supervisory committees and systems to really monitor the system. So we are just currently gathering resources to make sure we fend for these volunteer activities we'll be doing. We've reached out to Honorable Kujetwa Ablakwa, North Ton MP, and also Honorable Roosevelt of Central Ton constituency. So they are willing to give us accommodation. So now we are looking at how to garner a lot of resources to really fend for them in terms of food and other logistics they'll be needing to really help facilitate the whole process.
We'll get into those details, but the assessment of the schools and coming up with a number, how is that? I want to understand so that we know the exact means we came by that number, right? So is it that you went school by school, because Nugs is from that's primary, right, or even crèche?
From crèche to PhD level graduate school.
Okay. So that's how. So you went to the senior high schools, the DHS, and did that data.
All right. So this data is coming from over 71 plus schools who have been affected by the flood. Okay. And I think we sent our team to different places across board, and they were bringing the feeds, especially from the district assemblies who are having the accurate data of happenings in the various places. So when you get there, you get to know the challenges that are being faced by the students. Also, after getting the data, we connected it with that of child rights. Okay. Child rights data they also brought, which in a way was there was some juxtaposition between our data and DS. So that's where we are picking our feeds from.
Okay. You made mention about teachers, volunteer teachers have made themselves available to be helping these students for the next 1 month. But where you will be to teach them, have you've spoken to the two MPs for accommodation. Now, where you sit to teach, you have the teaching materials, but where you will be to teach, is that available?
All right, so specific places like schools will be teaching.
Yes.
All right, so currently as we speak, most of the kids are under trees studying.
Okay.
On any day, we couldn't just truncate the educational calendar or lives because other students in other jurisdictions are studying.
Yeah.
So the only thing we could do is to just improvise and make them study. But unfortunately, though a lot of organizations, recently I saw UNICEF donating a lot of educational materials to them. You get there, some of them, the marker boards, it's not in a very good condition. Okay. Other jurisdictions also, education has not started because of how intense the flooding system was. So nothing is happening there, in which I'm told per the last 3 weeks we went there, we were setting up camps to also set an educational system for these kids as well.
Okay. So I want to understand that the whole community, so let's say Mepe for an example, it was covered with water, right? So are the students in the towns affected, or they moved out of those towns to other places? I just want to understand that.
So specifically towns like Mepe, now the community folks, students have now been moved to a place called a senior high school St. Kizito. Okay. A place called St. Kizito. So they've set up a lot of tents that these parents and these students are. And now the senior high school, which is supposed to be housing, or which academic work is supposed to be ongoing in training the secondary school, have been used to accommodate the affected community folks. So currently they are there in some basic schools in the around Mepe and Bato. Those places are, students have also been sent to these basic schools. So it has made life very unbearable for community folks and also students in that very enclave.
And we could talk about the young, but are their parents also ready to say that, you know, my kids should go to school in this, because no matter, we need to get permission from the parents to have the kids there. Has there been an interaction with the parents also?
Per our interaction with the parents, they are even asking us on how quickly the government could put plans in place to really send their kids back to school, because that is their worry. And now when you get there, most of these kids from KG1, sometimes KG1 to class 1, they've all been combined at one particular place because of the availability of space and all that. But I think they are doing well. The district, the Ministry of Education and all that, they are trying to put plans in place to really do the proper segregation and also restore normalcy, everything to normalcy. I think the day we went there, the minister had already visited a day before. And he had met all the teachers, trying to motivate them and also incite them to really come back to the classroom. But clearly, when you get to the grounds, these teachers have been hugely affected, and now places to even sleep is even problematic. So I understand they are doing well, and then we are still pushing that the ministry fasten their belt and also quicken their activities so that we can restore, especially academic life of these kids to normal.
What about the children too? Are they psyched enough? Are they ready, irrespective of the situation that they see around them? Yes. Are they ready to still go forward and study?
I think that's one of the issues we also notice as part of the thing to be as part of the ramification exercise we'll be carrying out. When there was a lot of health professionals speaking with the kids, psyching them up and all that. Before even we start our volunteer teaching, we have a health committee in the National Union of Ghana Students that comprise of student doctors, student nurses and all that, which they've also planned. They've gotten some educational materials from Tobinco and other huge pharmaceutical companies in Ghana that when we will get there, we'll be running a lot of psychological screenings, we'll be running a lot of health-related stuff so that we can adequately psych our students up for the journey we want to embark on.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, that's very, very important. So, if you just joined us, we're speaking to the president of the National Union of Ghana Students, Daniel Opontrama, and we've so far touched on the affected communities when it comes to the dam spillage and some of the things that they have seen on the ground and what they're hoping to do, and calling on the government and the ministry to quicken that, and also in their own way, getting volunteer teachers to help the students there. So it is very important that you do that. And wrapping up with that particular conversation, all other things, as Nugs, a very big union, the BC results were released today. Was it today or yesterday? Today. Yesterday, yeah. What's up with that? How's, before even the release, I'm sure a lot of challenges always, we have a lot of challenges with things like that. What has been your assessment of that also?
All right, so before I touch on that, lastly on the Akosombo dam issue, as we are still asking the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education to expedite plans to really help with the reintegration of these students back to school. We are using this opportunity to call on all organizations. We are even calling on the Minister of Education, all the big men in this country, CSOs, to partner with the National Union of Ghana Students. On this volunteer exercise we want to embark on, the only challenge we are facing is support. We are calling on UN, UNESCO and all the other organizations to partner with the National Union of Ghana Students on our volunteer exercise we'll be embarking on. Probably if anybody or any individual want to reach out to the National Union of Ghana Students, you can get to us through secretariat@nugs.org.gh. secretariat@nugs.org.gh. In the comfort of your home, if you want to also donate to support the National Union of Ghana Students, it can be through *800 *2323 hash. *800 *2323 hash. Now, on the BEC results, we were quite worried when the results were delaying. Because we had heard reports from WAEC that the Ghana government or the Ministry of Education has some amount of money they are supposed to pay them before they start marking the process. And I must sincerely commend the Ministry of Education, headed by the Minister of Education, Honorable Bichum, for the good works they had done there. When the results were released yesterday, we also activated the Nugs app, which in our current stage is one of the easiest and convenient way of checking your BEC results, which almost every student in Ghana are praising the National Union of Ghana Students for bringing such an app to really check your results. And other organizations, individuals are charging huge sums of money before you check your results. Buy the results checker card around 20 cedis, but the National Union of Ghana Students is taking only 12 cedis when you check your results on the Nugs app. All you have to do is to just download the Nugs app on Play Store and also App Store. You just log in with your details and then straight away you can just check your BEC results. Same thing will be used for WASI and other subsequent examinations in the country. I was
asking Anaya earlier. I remember also those times we used to go and buy the checker. And then you go to the cafe, but internet down and your
some of us were scared of the results, so we buy credit on our phone.
Yeah, one corner checking that, but obviously.
And even with that one, when you are checking, the one checking for you would have to say, Charlie, one year crowd.
So right now, they get to see the results.
Yes, yourself individually.
Yes.
It sends you a PDF in your mail or even your phone. Then it's for you.
Okay. What about the placements too?
Yes, the placement too. I think when it's ready, the same medium
go
you could
to
use.
The same process.
You see that? Okay. All right, we've got a few minutes to wrap up. This very controversial issue of the nursing allowance.
Yeah.
Mr. President, are we not taking it off?
Mr. President.
He's the president of all students in this country. Are we not taking it off?
All right. Nursing training, as we speak, has not been scrapped up. As far as it has not been scrapped up, then that means the government should find ways and means to pay the allowances. As we speak, nurses are complaining of not having funds for food and other stuff. As we speak, we have arrears up to almost one year and 6 months, 18 good months. Allowances have not been paid our nursing trainees in the various nursing training colleges. As we speak, most of our students out there are really complaining, are devastated, and academic life has become very difficult for them, especially when their school fees also keep skyrocketing, and the allowances, which is supposed to serve as a force majeure and also cushion them on a lot of things, is not really happening. So it's made life very unbearable for our students on the nursing 86 plus nursing training colleges in the country. As a matter of urgency, the National Union of Ghana Students embarked on a press conference to address the issue at hand on how the Ministry of Health could take practicable steps to pay the long-due nursing training allowances. Following that, our community folks, which is the executives of the Ghana Nursing Trainees and Midwifery Association, also met the Minister of Health to address this pertinent issue. And upon meeting him, he gave us an assurance upon a lot of several knockings on his door, gave us assurance that he's had clearance from the Ministry of Finance, and within the next 2-3 weeks, they are hoping that the nursing training allowances will be paid.
So what, there's a 6 months delay?
18 months.
18 months delay.
18 months. We hope that this...
That's almost 1 year.
2 years.
Almost 1 year, 6
months.
6 months. Getting to almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And we pray that this one doesn't become one of these political talks, but they leave to their mark so that our nursing training folks could their burdens could be lessened. We also pleaded with him that there should be a streamlined way of payment of fees. When you get to the universities are paying a fees ranging from like 1,500 to 2,000. When you get to the nursing training, there's no kind of strict and stringent mechanism put in place to really check the fees, such that it's cut across various nursing training colleges. You go to college A and the fees is different. You go to college B and it's different. And some of them are paying as high as 4,000 Ghana cedis per semester.
These
so
public
within
universities.
Public universities, that's the nursing training. So within a year, you are paying over 8,000 Ghana cedis. So most of our students now who on any day are willing to go out there to be trained as nurses to help the country are not willing to go there. They go through this strict move, high fees, and after they are done, they leave the country on brain drain, which is currently worrying our country.
That's the new age.
Everybody's jackpotting.
Everybody's jackpotting. But when you met them, did you touch on the free SHS being reviewed by government? Did you touch on that?
Right, so that one, we discussed that with the Minister of Education. I think there have been a lot of issues on the free SHS. The National Union of Ghana Students have been one of the key bodies that have been always speaking on the ill part of the free SHS, which anytime we make that move, within some time, you see that the government have responded and they are making changes. Initially, we were speaking about the double track system and how students are really suffering when it comes to accommodation issue. And as we speak, we have almost 70% of senior high schools who are having the double track system scrapped off. So it's like a few who are still on the double track system. So each and every time we are seeing a lot of reviews happening with the senior high schools, which if we notice any challenge, we also write to them that this challenge should be swiftly acknowledged and worked on. Lastly, we also spoke on the our hikes in hostel prices. It is very worrying. Now, as we speak, some of our students are sleeping in libraries. Some of them are sleeping in uncomfortable places. I remember those times before we completed KNUST. I have some few friends who could sit at the lover's bench, sit there till like 5 a.m. Then 5 a.m. you move to one of the rooms to go and bath and then move to class. And that will be the kind of life they'll be living for the next 4 years because they can't afford the hostel prices. So we are still going to work on that in the coming days, push very hard on that section so that we could also have some changes happening.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel Poncham, President of Nugs, for coming in and helping us understand what's been happening on the ground. The hostel fees there, I was going to touch on that, but we don't have time today. Yeah. Hopefully you come back some other time so we talk about it. So, so follow Nugs on their socials and help them out with the spillage in the affected areas in Mepe and all the others.